Now, the British Retail Consortium has recorded the highest rate of inflation in a decade, with prices in the shops going up by 2.7% last month. Well, joining me now is retail analyst Kate Hardcastle. Good morning to you. And Kate, a 2.7% rise in shops in the last month alone, that's incredibly steep. And don't even get me started on the rising cost of gluten-free bread. But on a serious note, what's driving this rising price in shops?
There have been many factors that have impacted the fact that many of us are going into supermarkets and that our average basket spend has been really affected. It's essential items. It's the milk, it's the bread, it's gluten-free bread, as you've mentioned. It's the component parts for basic meals like spaghetti bolognese. We've seen significant shifts, and that's really impacting many households all across the UK. When you think then families lucky enough to maybe go and have a car to fill up are going to the petrol pumps and seeing significant impact there. And also on the things they can't adjust week by week, like their fuel bills. This really is a very challenging time for many households across the UK, and many looking for support outside of usual places. We're hearing from food banks that they've got dual income families going in for the first time, trying to understand if they can get some support and help. That's the reality. And unfortunately, there's no signs of this changing anytime soon. Food prices are still yet to increase.
And just give us more details on these two areas, which is, of course, the war in Ukraine, but also the lockdown, the COVID lockdown in China, which is, of course, slowing down the supply chain.
So much of the supply chain is still absolutely reliant on international involvement. And that could be that it's the seaport that we've seen in Shanghai that's had the impact, or indeed those factories still catching up, because what we have seen is a lot of non-essential items, maybe clothing, etc., having a real impact. But there are component parts of food too, packaging, for instance, that can be impacted by that. When something comes across to us internationally, often on containers, we're looking at 3 to 6 months lead times. That can have huge involvement if those prices are up, supplies really limited and demand is high. Of course, we know that the Russia and Ukraine situation has also had a huge impact on things like vegetable oils. So it's a lot of the time the materials included in our everyday items that having the increasing costs that are really impacting the businesses producing and making those, and leading to statements from retailers, as we heard from Asda and Morrison's last week, saying that they're going to be looking at trying to hold on to the price of essential items or indeed lower the prices. But also organisations like Primark relied upon for many value items such as clothing, saying that they cannot withhold any more of the price, and they're going to have to pass on the price increase to customers, which they're expecting to do as their autumn-winter collections. It's significant, I think, that we are still to see the worst, and I think a lot of organisations realise that. Our government needs to too, because a lot of families and households are going to be really further impacted by autumn.
Absolutely. Retail analyst Kate Hardcastle, grateful for your time and to get your thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you.